Funding for DNews has been provided by the Cal and Lucille Rudman Institute for Entertainment Industry Studies. Coming up, voices light up the sky, and the creator of Entourage is in the house on this episode of DNews. Hello and welcome to DNews. I'm Courtney Thomas. A Fishtown factory was rescued from ruins and is now the home to many of Philadelphia's finest artists. Marla Katz goes inside to show how this Civil War era dye factory has transformed.
In 1865, at the end of the Civil War, Globe Dye Works was built in the Frankford section of Philadelphia. It was known for its yarn dyeing and prospered for many years, but it fell on hard times and closed in 2005. Now the factory has transformed into a building for fabricators, artists, artisans, and other small businesses. Joe LaRue, who sells his one-of-a-kind sculptures, has rented space at Globe since 2010. He says it used to be a dump.
The first time I visited Globe Dye Works was almost 2 years ago now, so it would have been in 2010. The first time I saw it, it was in a lot rougher condition than what it is in right now.
A group of owners who are all interested in the arts decided the old yarn dyeing factory was worth saving, and they decided to give it a facelift. Now it's got a whole new life.
And so when we got here, I would say there was like 10 to 15 people or like 8 to 10 different studios with a lot of stuff going on that seemed like it was really active. That number is growing definitely rapidly. It's kind of bringing more and more business and a lot of excitement to the Frankfurt area.
Artist Emma Gardner grew up in Frankfurt, then moved to Arizona. Recently, she got the chance to show off her art collection at Globe.
I was an invited artist, and I thought it would be really cool to come back to the neighborhood I grew up in, Frankfurt.
The new Globe Dye Works seems to be making everyone smile. My favorite place in the building is called a Cupcake Wonderland. Owners Lily and Nima, who recently won first place in TV show Cupcake Wars, say Globe is a sweet place.
Globe Dye Works has been a really wonderful place for our business to start out and really take root.
The second you step in this building, it feels special.
Having people you get along with really does the trick when choosing a location.
We kept coming back to this place and we kept being like, oh, but those landlords were so fantastic. And I always say that, we looked at locations and many of the landlords were, how do you work for me? What can you do for me? And things like that. And Globe was the first time people were like, what can we do to help you?
Globe has 25 businesses, and owners say there's room for more.
It's been a great community of small business owners and artists and other, even the Globe Development Group themselves have been so supportive of us and our business that, it's just been a fantastic platform.
For DNews, I'm Marla Katz.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to produce a hit HBO series? Well, you're about to find out. A Hollywood big shot came to Drexel to give students an inside scoop. Doug Ellen sat down with Professor Karen Curry to talk about the wild ride he experienced as producer of Entourage.
The pilot took 2.5 years, and then they picked us up and said, okay, do more episodes, and I had no idea what to do. I didn't know where we were going with this thing or what was going to happen with it.
For not knowing what to expect, Ellen steered the show to great heights, including 25 Primetime Emmy nominations and 14 Golden Globes. He says success comes from casting the right characters.
Guys would go, oh, that's my group, because everybody has the better-looking friend, the dumber friend, the loser friend. So that's what we went for. And from minute one, we were all very close, and it hasn't really changed.
So how did Entourage get its start?
When you have Mark Wahlberg with you, you just call up HBO and say, hey, can we come in? But while that sounds great, they're not just making making a show. So they bought a script, which they paid me, $50,000 for 2.5 years of work. And it kept going and going and going.
Finally, Ellen shared an inside scoop about getting started in this extremely unpredictable business.
If you're starting from where you're saying in the beginning, you need to go get an agent. The best thing you do as a young person is connect yourself with a producer who's had an established track record. And then you go in and you pitch it. And if they like the idea, you know, they'll give you a shot at a script, which is where it starts. This business, you don't know what's next. No matter, you know, you have a success like this, it may never come again.
For DNews, I'm Courtney Thomas. Our next story involves lights, a camera, and lots of action. A Philadelphia art exhibit that lit up the sky brought people from far and wide.
The sky sparkled over the Benjamin Franklin Parkway as people gathered to observe and enjoy Open Air Philly. This unique and remarkable exhibition transformed voices and sounds into light.
I think it's for anyone who's lucky enough to have been on the Parkway the opening night, or anybody who drives by or who's seen it from the Art Museum steps and doesn't know anything about it, is treated to something that's so extraordinary because it's such an extravaganza of light and technology.
You know, every night we've probably had, you know, anywhere from like 100 to 300 people a night come out. Even in the rain, people are driving up in their cars and leaving messages and really seem to be enjoying the work.
Here's how it works. Participants record the message on an iPhone, iPad, or through GPS. They can sing, shout, make beatbox noises, even propose marriage. The open air lights then respond based on the frequency and amplitude of the voice, creating beautiful shapes.
Hi there, bird. Are you talking to me? Yeah, hi, calendar. It's a devil of a month, isn't it?
We didn't know anything about this. My husband was looking for information on the Franklin Institute, and we found the link that brought us to information about this, so we're glad to be here.
That squiggled angular line there is the constellation Cassiopeia.
On the night we were there, Open Air Philly also included a stargazing demonstration.
There's still plenty of stuff that can be seen in an urban area under city lights at night. If you go outside and take a look, you'll be able to see the main stars of the brightest constellations without much difficulty, and that at least gives you something you can see along with the planets that are visible and along with the satellites that are also visible.
Some neighborhood residents and environmentalists have complained about the barrage of lights during Open Air Philly, but officials say the show is environmentally friendly.
So we worked with the community groups, the neighborhood groups in the area, the CDCs, talked to them about, you know, the artwork, any concerns they may have, and as a result, the artwork is only available from 8 to 11 every night, and part of that was the neighborhood, the surrounding neighbors that live in this area don't, you know, they kind of have a deal with the city, like we don't want anything to go past 11.
Open Air Philly was a unique event of technology and expressions. For more information, log on to www.openairphilly.net. For DNews, I'm Tao Duong.
You can never anticipate an emergency, but you can certainly be prepared for one. The Philadelphia Fire Department showed Drexel dorm students how to be ready for a crisis.
I always thought when the fire alarm went off, it was someone who didn't know how to cook or decided to be funny and pulled the alarm. But I recently learned that the alarms can be serious when the Philadelphia Fire Department initiated a citywide drill called Dump the Dorms and chose Drexel as the host school.
Welcome you all to the annual Dump the Dorms. The students have turned in for the night. And like all good Philadelphia citizens, they have smoke alarm protection on every level of their building. And they sleep with their bedroom doors closed. And they are resting now. But now, a small fire starts from somewhere in the building.
The officers then demonstrated the proper steps to take before and after evacuation.
At this time, once safely out of the fire, you can then dial 911, indicating that the fire has been extinguished. We are now happy. We are now happy that this is a happy ending to what might have been a tragic situation.
It really didn't hit me how important it was until Gail Minger told her story about her son.
My son Michael died in a college dorm fire. He was unable to escape an arson fire set by another student on his floor.
Not only did we find the fire department, but we also found our very own Drexel EMS.
A lot of students get used to fire alarms and they always assume that it's just a drill, but the one time that it's real, it's when it's really going to matter.
I was surprised that many students were impressed by the drill.
It's important to practice fire drills because with a lot of freshmen college kids, they're doing a bunch of unpredictable things, so it's always good to be ready for the unexpected.
I think it's important because it's good to know proper safety techniques in your dorm building, and in case of a fire, you need to know where to get out, where your exits are, and things like that. So practice makes perfect.
Billy is right. Practice does make perfect. So the next time your fire alarm goes off, make sure you evacuate yourself and pets safely, and don't forget to stop, drop, and roll. For DNews, this is Sloan Spurlock.
Now that you're prepared for a fire, there's a new way to find help. Grab your smartphones. Molly Stamen has the story.
Is your apartment on fire? There's an app for that. Recently, the Philadelphia Fire Department and Drexel launched a fire safety and prevention app. At the event held on campus, the fire department showed off its smoking hot billboard.
I'm so proud of the work that just a group of great human beings came together to do.
Got the students involved because we can't do it without the students, and they did most of the work. They met with the Philadelphia Fire Department along with myself and on a weekly basis.
The app has a comprehensive list of features to help all different people in all different situations prepare for potential fires.
It has most of the major hospitals in the Philadelphia area. It has a live radio stream from the fire department, and it has some features of tying into the freedomfromfire.com website.
I want to remind everybody you can download the app at www.freedomfromfire.com/FS app. And while you're downloading it, make sure you remember fire safety app. Stay alive with that.
For DNews, I'm Molly Stamen.
Drexel's Emergency Medical Services works behind the scenes to keep students healthy and safe. Sloan Spurlock has the story.
Most of us think we're invincible and nothing bad can happen to us. Truth is, we're not. So who are you going to call when you have a medical emergency? How about Drexel Emergency Medical Services?
Drexel EMS is a student-run volunteer organization that provides basic life support care to the Drexel community.
The organization was started by 2 Drexel students in 2008. Now, there are about 20 active members who help with everything from serious medical alerts to campus intoxication.
All of the members within Drexel have a wide range of experience, coming anywhere from a brand new EMT just getting out of EMT school to somebody who has years of experience running at a 911 ambulance squad.
Drexel EMS is not dispatched through calling 911. If you have an emergency while on campus, call the public safety number, 215-895-2222.
Just as anyone who would come to provide care for you if you were to call 911, we have the exact same qualifications. So whether that be giving you oxygen or glucose or dealing with your seizure, CPR, anything like that, we are certified just as everyone else is from the Philadelphia Fire Department.
If you'd like to learn more about this worthy organization, check out their website at drexelems.org, like them on Facebook at Drexel Emergency Medical Services, or follow them on Twitter at Drexel EMS. So the next time you have a medical emergency, who are you going to call? Drexel EMS. For DNews, this is Sloan Spurlock.
A new movie with a large Drexel fan base brought ardent supporters together to debate and discuss all things Hobbit. Molly Stamen has this short story.
Photophiles gathered at Papadakis for Hobbit Fest, a celebration of the upcoming movie, The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey.
This was not really a requirement for my honors tutor, but it was an alternative to doing actual work.
It's like the Tolkien fan base, old and new, are gathering around to celebrate.
I'm very excited for the new movie.
Excitement was shared through panel discussions and presentations. Don Riggs organized the event.
Professor Riggs, he's a character. He's a really great guy.
This is wonderful that what he does.
Before the release of the first of the Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings, I organized a Tolkien Fest. So knowing that there's another Hobbit film, I thought, well, okay, let's let's get started with this.
Be sure to check out Peter Jackson's The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey in theaters soon. For DNews, I'm Molly Stamen.
Drexel students will soon have a 24/7 web channel to show off their TV, film, and digital work. DUTV2 launches next week. If you want your work shown, contact us here at DUTV. That's a wrap for this episode of DNews. Don't forget to check out DUTV2 online, and we'll see you again here in January. I'm Courtney Thomas, and thanks for watching. The production of DNews has been made possible with the generous support of the Cal and Lucille Redman Institute for Entertainment Industry Studies, the Office of University Communications, and the Antoinette Westphal College of Media Arts and Design.